I went to a wedding recently. One of the staff took a photo with me and he was like, alam mo, sobrang fan kami ng friend ko. Sabi ng friend ko, sobrang ganda niyan dati, tumaba lang. Women degrading their bodies and things like that. Okay, I'm back. This is the best effort that I can do at the moment. It's not that I don't want to exert effort. It's just I don't have the time or energy to look better than this at this point in my life. You know, it's so weird because when I started this vlog, I was 21, maybe even younger. I'm 31 now, so the amount of change that has happened over the past decade has been crazy, to say the least. I missed this. I kind of miss vlogging and I kind of miss just sharing my thoughts. But I think for the longest time, I was doing that so often on the podcast and I couldn't upload it on YouTube because of my lockouts and things like that. But now that I'm able to do this again, I'm kind of excited. And I even bought a new lens and a new microphone because we're traveling again this year. So okay, let's answer some of your questions and hopefully makatulong siya sa buhay mo. Kung hindi man, at least siguro nagpe-play to sa background habang nagme-makeup ka or naghuhugas ng pinggan. Kung ano man yan, happy to be here. Let's start with this first question. Sabi niya, how's the progress of your weight loss journey? I think maybe March this year, I started posting about me going back to the gym and really just working out. And I didn't work out, you know, I was at the biggest weight I've ever been after postpartum. Syempre, I was heavier when I was pregnant, but that was because I had a baby inside me. But I think I reached a point that I was, if I'm not mistaken, around 163 pounds. That's big for me because yung weight ko usually, the biggest that I would be around 130. I'm 5'5", so 130 yan na yung biggest ko. But after I had gotten pregnant back-to-back, parang I got bigger even after I gave birth to Aggie. For the longest time, I wasn't feeling like myself, and this isn't a knock on anybody who is that weight, but you have to admit that when you're bigger, it's just harder to move. I was sick every month or every other month. I would get the flu or a cough. Parang mababalan talaga yung immune system ko. I just didn't feel strong at all. And I still get the comments, especially, I went to a wedding recently. One of the staff took a photo with me and he was like, alam mo, sobrang fan kami ng friend ko. Sabi ng friend ko, sobrang ganda niyan dati, tumaba lang. At the moment, the first thing that came to my head was, first of all, Tita Cruz. Second of all, I could get pissed off by that comment, right? But then I just went, oh nga, I did put on some weight. That's what happens when you have babies. And I just kind of laughed it off. What that interaction taught me is that you have to take other people's opinions about your body and about who you are with a grain of salt, especially if you're a public figure. And that's not to condone or excuse unnecessarily bad behavior. But what I'm just trying to say is, it happens. It really does happen. The only thing that you can control is the perspective that you take on that situation. And the perspective that I took was, I did gain a lot of weight. I do look very different from when I started my career in showbiz. But at the same time, I could take that with a grain of salt and say, okay, well, I don't need to look like myself in my 20s to feel great about myself in my 30s. That was a very long-winded answer to one question. I'll try to skim through and be as fast as possible. Okay, do I listen to secular music? Secular music meaning non-Christian songs? Yes and no. I have the explicit content filter on my Spotify because my children listen to music all the time. That's pretty much all I listen to. Sometimes when I'm driving by myself and nobody else is in the car, I will blast an Olivia Rodrigo, "You're Still a Traitor," or like a Vampire, or, you know, I'd blast your songs, and maybe a Sabrina Carpenter. Those are the two people that I kind of listen to, but in general, hindi na masyado kasi I feel like now that I'm growing old, I always ask myself, not even just as a Christian, well, maybe because I'm a Christian, is this song bringing me closer to God, or is this song blatantly causing me to stumble? And if it is, there's no reason for me to listen to that, because there's a plethora of good music out there that doesn't have themes of violence, lust, extramarital affairs, you know, women degrading their bodies and things like that. I'm not saying that all secular music is like that, but what I'm trying to say is, most of the time, you hear songs like that. Yes and no. I'm not super opposed to secular music, but I do believe that you have to filter out the ones that you listen to. Okay. Do you allow screen time for Aggie and Elia? Yes, no. So our general rule in the house is that the kids don't have screen time, but I am a not so crunchy mom, meaning I do allow them a bit of screen time, but it's very limited and it's super screened. The one show that we watch right now that I absolutely love is Bluey, and I also like all of the mga old Disney shows, yung mga Disney Pixar Cars, mga Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, ganyan. And we only really use screen time as a tool for when I'm cutting their nails, cleaning their ears, because sometimes they don't want to sit still. They're very free-range babies. They just walk around the house, play with everything. When you pop a screen in front of them, because they don't really watch TV or shows, para silang, whoa, what is this? Kaya napapaupo talaga sila. So yeah, in general, I don't use them. We don't really watch shows, not on a regular basis. And we don't have a television anywhere else in our house except in the office. So, ayan. Andyan yung TV para kung mag-play man si Juancho ng NBA 2K or we're gonna watch a movie or whatever, this is like our adult space where we can watch whatever we want because the kids have very limited access to screens. Are there times you want to quit as a mom? No, I never want to quit as a mom, but I do have times when I'm frustrated and angry and exhausted. And you know, it's funny because I actually went back to counseling after I gave birth to Aggie. I was in counseling throughout. When I was pregnant with Aggie, I kind of stopped because parang, you know, life got busy and everything. But then after I had given birth to Aggie, I went back to therapy because, I don't know, I needed to process the different ways in which my life was evolving because I now had two kids, a son and a daughter. And that was really difficult for me to process. I know, by God's grace, that I'm at the point in my life right now where I can honor the anger and the frustration and the exhaustion and separate that from what motherhood is. I think the reason why a lot of moms feel like they're getting the bad end of the stick is because they would experience moments or even days of frustration, anger, and exhaustion. And they keep that bottled in there. Tapos, andun lang siya. Nagiging definitive siya of the whole experience of motherhood. And that was me. You know, Wancho's life hasn't changed as much as mine did. I used to travel often. I used to work in TV. I used to have the most glamorous events. And that was the pride that I held on to. And I can't do that anymore because the kids need me more than they need their father. Let's just be honest, you know, moms are more needed in the first few years of life than dad. It's just that women are the ones who get pregnant. Women are the ones who breastfeed. I think I just had to acknowledge that it's never going to be a 50-50 type of thing. And at this point in season in our lives, it's going to be a 90-10 type of thing when it comes to motherhood. And when I accepted that and saw it instead of as a burden, rather saw it as a blessing that I have this very unique calling that I am equipped to do, I felt so much better. And I enjoyed motherhood so much better because instead of thinking of this bigger responsibility as a burden, and I saw it as like, nobody else can do this better than me. I saw that as an opportunity to grow and an opportunity to faithfully serve God and faithfully serve my family the way that no one else could. And of course, other people will say like, oh, easy for you to say kasi you have a support system, you're wealthy, whatever. Yun kasi mga comments na nakakuha ko. Lalo na nung kinakancel ako recently about saying that motherhood is beautiful. I do believe that, and I do understand where people are coming from. Like, yes, I acknowledge that there's a lot of privilege that comes in the life that I lead, but you guys also don't know the kind of difficulties that I go through from a personal level. Like, you don't know my family background, you don't know the hang-ups that I carry, you don't know the difficulties that I have, the depression, the anxiety, all these other challenges that I have as a mom. You may think that because of these privileges, I'm exempt from experiencing any negative thing, but I'm not. It's just that I've learned to honor the negative part of motherhood, the challenging, the difficult, frustrating parts of motherhood, and not define it by that. Okay. A recent book that I've read, lots. So you have to check out Joyce, Another Book Club, to see the list of books that I have. I'm currently reading Breath as Prayer, which is Chef's Kiss, beautiful. And I also recently finished Born to Run because I'm into running now, if you didn't know. The rest of the list is in my hashtag. Are you into designer stuffs? Do I look like... I don't think anybody has ever seen me in anything designer, maybe like a bag or a pair of shoes, but that's it. I'm not into anything designer. I'm not, okay, I will tell you this. I'm also not the type of person that tends to buy cheap things or the cheapest version of that bag, I will buy it. No, I like to buy quality items because my motto is always buy it nice or buy it twice. And I've proven that time and time and again. Why do first-time moms get sad, exhausted, though having a baby is rewarding? First, that's a great question. Because it is hard. It'll wring you out. Your soul will be wrung out so rapidly. And you're not gonna recognize the woman in front of the mirror the first time that you look into that mirror. But at the same time, it is the most joyful, rewarding, beautiful, magical experience that you'll ever go through. And those things can be true at the same time. One last question. Are you on a diet now, Mama? I find it hard to go back to my pre-pregnancy weight. Okay, I am not on a diet, but I am... Okay, I guess I'm on a... I am not back on my pre-pregnancy weight. I don't look like I'm back on my pre-pregnancy weight because I am still wearing large on my clothes. I used to be a small to maximum medium. Yun na yun. Ako ngayon, large to XL usually yung clothes ko if I want them to fit comfortably. I am on a diet. But I wanted to say this because my battery is running out and this vlog has been too long. Being on a diet that you can follow consistently over a longer period of time is so much better than a diet that will make you thin or as skinny or go back to your pre-pregnancy weight as fast as possible. But if you just go on a healthier diet, meaning you control your portions rather than completely take them out, I think that would be easier because that's what's been working for me. And then I'll eat whatever my family is eating. If we're having adobo, I'm having adobo. But what I'll do is I'll cook extra boiled egg on the side and then I won't eat as much kanin, diba? There, hopefully that helps. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, I'm gonna do another one in the future. But yeah, this is me now. This is my life now. It's so much quieter, simpler, and so much more joyful. And I hope that the questions that I answered for you guys are helpful or at the very least entertaining. And I'll see you in the next vlog. Yun na yun. Okay.